Guys, there's something wrong with me. Okay, I think we all know this, but this is something else. I can feel it in my bloodstream, in my veins, in my nerves. Normally, I'm incredibly nostalgic for Generation 1, Bionicle Generation 1. Not so much with G2, given the circumstances around it and its ultimate downfall. But starting today, I don't know how this is possible, or why, or even how this happened, but probably because of that dream I had last night, I'm feeling nostalgic for Generation 2 Bionicle. What? I'm nostalgic for a inferior version of my favorite Lego theme. I'm nostalgic for these. What am I becoming? What has brought me to this point? Well, first of all, head patting the Bionicle, but that's beside the point. The point is, I'm feeling very nostalgic right now for Generation 2. 10 years after its imminent demise. After the 2 years that that were obviously planned for. There were only going to be 2 years planned for Generation 2, and we all know it. There's not any evidence suggesting a 2017 Bionicle, and even if there was, it's no longer relevant. It's small compared to the abundance of planned stuff that was for G1. Yeah. I love this gear function. It's fucking cool. It combines the two different gears. First of all, these small gears, which add a little bit more, thing. But also these knobs. Why do people complain about the knobs? I don't know. They are idiots. I think the knobs are fine. They're perfect for CCBS stuff. And they even use these in Star Wars sets as well. Look at Kylo Ren. Look at Rey, possibly. And there you go. Golly is my favorite Toa Master. She's also my favorite Toa Uniter. Yeah. I'm nostalgic for these right now because I remember a time when we didn't think we were going to get Bionicle again. But then that dream happened to me in 2014. I woke up to it just being that, a dream. Then I saw the TTV videos covering the first leaks, and I was excited. Bionicle was coming back in some way, and this was the way we got G2 CCBS. There's nothing wrong with CCBS. Y'all are just elitist fucks who don't understand the potential of this system. We got these in 2015 and 2016. More parts to build with, more cool masks. I especially love Golly's mask because it has that feminine feel to it, really. And it just looks nice. It looks great. It looks amazing. G2 was problematic. Yes. Now, I understand some of y'all who probably grew up with G2 and are more nostalgic for it than I am. But hear me out. Generation 2 was something that we all were hoping to be great. It turned out to be a hard reboot. Hard reboot. It was phoned in, and it stunk. It really did. Story-wise, at least. Set-wise, these were fantastic. We were lucky to get Bionicle back in one way, shape, or form, or whatever. And we should be grateful that we got G2. There are some of you Bionicle G1 elitists who are never going to be grateful that G2 was coming in 2015 and 2016. You weren't grateful because y'all are a bunch of elitist fucks. You can go fuck yourself. And yeah, G2 had some great sets, had some great parts. Look at this part, for example. That's an awesome axe half piece. It looks great. The mask launching function, yeah, it's silly, but I enjoy it. It's a little stiff on Golly here, but I enjoy the gear function. I love the build of this set. She looks amazing. I love the color scheme, too. You know, you got the silvers and whatnot, gunmetal grays, but you also have trans medium blue, I think is what that is, or is it trans light blue? Either way, you got yellow as a subtle accent. You got a nice dark azure, which normally that's not associated with Golly. I don't think it was ever associated with any water Toa. So, Golly was the first. Now, it's not really Golly, it's Golly G2, but hey. And we got the 2015 piece, which gave us something to talk about, nostalgia-wise. Yeah, Golly is an amazing set. She looks amazing. $15, came with a skull spider, golden mask. Yeah, this is amazing. The dual weapon functionality, awesome to have that, so she can, you know, swim and also use this as a weapon like that. Yeah, this is great, and I can say the same for the other Toa Masters. The Toa Uniters did a lot to impress, but they have problems. Apparently, all the detail that we got, all the greebling that we got from parts from the Uniters, apparently that was too much detail. Some people criticized them for being just messy. You're messy. Go fuck yourself. Seriously, you're wrong. The Uniters were fantastic. Combined with their golden masks and their creatures, yeah, they looked fucking cool. We got Phoenix Tahoe as a meme. I'm sure y'all are really sick of that meme too. But it's the truth. The G2 Toa sets were fantastic. The Skull villains were iffy at best. But even they still had some great parts. The Lord of Skull Spiders and the Skull Spiders, forgettable villains, but still interesting mechanism for Lord of Skull Spiders. Good parts too. Even Ikimu, 2016, 7th Toa, apparently. As bad as it may look as a mostly trans blue set with gold here and there too, he doesn't look that good. He looks a bit weird, but I like Ikimu 2016. I think he's fine, but some people don't think so. They're just picky, is what they are. There's a problem in the Bionicle fandom. We've got these picky individuals that only like things a certain way. And that is where some members of the Bionicle community are just wrong about. They're idiots, let's be honest. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have things always be your way. So, Umarak the Hunter. Fantastic set. Not really a memorable villain, but still a pretty cool set. Now, Umarak the Destroyer, easily 10 times better. Big monster demon looking thing that looks fucking awesome. A little hollow on the inside of the torso, but hey, I like Umarak the Hunter. Fantastic build, fantastic set. Awesome. The elemental creatures were also pretty cool. The elemental beasts, as problematic as they were, still pretty damn good. And we got an abundance of masks, both exclusives and commercial release, set released masks throughout the entirety of G2. We got poly bags, we got foil bags, and we got... Oh, and the protectors. The protectors were nice parts packs. They were colorful and fun and awesome. Generic mask, but so that's the point. We got 3 chapter books, 2 graphic novels, 1 activity book, an abundance of posters and ads and whatnot. My Okoto Island poster from the one poly bag, the first poly bag, tore in half. So I had to repair it with masking tape or whatever the fuck it's called. And now it's just stuck on there on the wall forever. We got plenty of stuff with G2. We even got a art book that was only printed once, I think, and given out for a contest. Everyone else got a digital file of that, scans, if you will, of the art book and all the art that's in it. This concept art was all completely wasted once G2 ended. We also got the web animations, web commercials, set commercials, very few we got. We got the Journey to One Netflix series. That last episode was abysmal, but at least we got a Netflix series. We got a lot with G2. Nowhere near the amount of stuff that we got with G1, but it was something. It was something. So I'm feeling incredibly nostalgic right now for G2, and I don't know why. I really don't, because in a previous video I did, like a couple days ago or so, I said that G2 lacked nostalgia value. I'm reversing my thought process on this one. It does have nostalgia value for those of you who grew up with G2 and not G1, but later went back to G1 and compared the two, and there you go. You can't even consciously compare G1 to G2. You just can't. I mean, you can, but at the same time, it's not worth examining both and obviously choosing that, well, one is better than the other. G1 is obviously better than G2. In a lot of different ways. But G2 Toa, they had more postability. They had a fun action. They had this. And again, it doesn't really go far. But golly, here. That's because there's some dust I need to clean off. We got so much with G2, but it also felt like it felt like the story is what offends me the most about G2. It felt like the G2 story was a piss take on the original story for the story we got for Generation 1. It was not what it should be. G2's story was half-assed, boring, lame, rushed beyond imagination. That concept artist, Matt Bedecker, yeah, his concept art might have been really cool, but he was an intern. You don't put interns in charge of the Bionicle story. What is wrong with you, Lego? Then they blamed us for the abysmal sales. Fuck you, Lego. You are wrong. It's your own poor marketing that was to blame. That, and just no one was interested at the time. Except for those who were dedicated enough to promote these things. You see what happens, Lego? You make me ill because of some of the bullshit fucking business decisions, and then you point the finger at the fans, and it's like, well, I guess there's no morals when it comes to the Lego company anymore. And the fans don't help. The anti-fans, shall we say, you know, the ones that are the G1 elitists, who point the fingers at CCBS being a boring and lame system. Well, it's not boring and lame. It might be boring and lame to you, but you're a fucking moron. It's a fun system to work with. I understand. Complexity supersedes simplicity in some regards, but not all the time. Detailed parts are always welcome in construction, but G2 was not trying to be G1. It was not trying to do the complexity thing. It tried with 2016 and failed to some degree, but also still, in my mind, the Uniters were pretty fucking cool. G2 has nostalgia value, but at the same time, you have to be the right person to understand G2 and where it flopped and floundered. And you have to be the right person who clearly understands it more than these elitists. If you grew up with G2, explain yourself to these people who don't understand G2 enough. Some people even kept up with the story of G2, but didn't buy any of the sets. And then they bitch about the line not selling enough to fund the story for a third year. You fucking cunts. What is wrong with you? Get the fuck out of here. I will always remember G2 as something that had potential, but it wasn't fully realized. It was never going to be realized. Lego only planned it for 2 years. There was no way we were going to get a third year, even if sales were higher. Sales were subpar. You know what that Lego representative on social media said? The 2015 sets, Toa sets sold well. It's not just it's the protectors. The Wave 1 sets sold well. They did not sell well enough, apparently. You lied. And as a result, well, obviously we know what happened. The abysmal sales was one. Nobody was truly buying these sets. Only people who were dedicated enough to promote the theme, and then some. There were very few outsiders who bought into these. There was a case of an individual within the past 6 years going to a Goodwill and finding a big container of Bionicle G2 sets because they were rejected by their owners. Tossed aside. Just like that. You tossed this aside? That shows how big of a piece of shit you are. Whose ass did you come out of? This, while it's not groundbreaking or anything like that, it's still good enough. It's good enough, but not to those Gen 1 elitists who like to think that they should police everyone around and point fingers at in every direction and say, you can't have an opinion on G1 because you are a G2 fan. That is just selfishness incarnate. I liked the G2 sets. I hated the story. There were some good ideas here and there in the story. But the story was just not going to be good enough to reach a modern audience in 2015 and 2016, especially the kids of that time. Especially the target audience for G2. Lego basically thought, well, kids are stupid, they'll give in to anything. Yeah, right. Fuck you, Lego. So, with that being said, nostalgia is a powerful thing. While I don't feel as nostalgic for G2 as I am with G1, right now, it seems like G2 has... there was just so much about it that could have been improved. There's so much about it that was acceptable, but could have been improved. There was so much about Bionicle G2 that felt wrong. And then the elitists, the G1 elitists, those people just need to fuck off. Seriously. Get the fuck out of here. You're obviously not a real Bionicle fan. You're just a poser. Okay, we're not going to go that far, but yeah. G2 has nostalgia value for those who lived through it and understood it. I lived through it and I was excited for it. Because of my dream, I thanked Lego personally, indirectly, actually, for bringing back Bionicle without even having to say anything to them. Face to face, in person, or online, or whatever. I thanked Lego for their work to bring back Bionicle in some capacity. Then, 10 years ago, they took it away again. The message I read on Bionicle G2's website, I started getting really emotional. Anxiety was building up in my heart. I wanted to kill myself. And yeah, I made that video. It was like 30 minutes long. Nobody saw it, clearly, obviously. I mean, I don't remember any comments anyone might have made of that. But yeah, that was a real emotional moment for me. Was the death of G2, the announcement, and that video. I was sad. But Lego probably thought nothing will be missed here. Nobody will miss this theme. Clearly the G1 elitists don't miss it. Well, that's because they're a bunch of selfish fucks. G1 elitists, grow a pair. Seriously. Be better than what you were back then, 10 years ago, when G2 was cancelled. Celebrating G2 dying and cancelling, and praising Lego for cancelling it, that just makes you look like a total, complete idiot. A moron. When G2 died, I was in shambles. Even more so than when G1 died. Back when G1 died, I was emotionally affected by it. But when G2 died, I was emotionally affected by it 1,000-fold. Because it felt like LEGO was taking away something that could have been great, something that had potential, something that could have, existed alongside LEGO Star Wars CCBS sets as an option over the Star Wars CCBS sets. But LEGO just didn't want to gamble that much. They took a massive gamble with G1, so they didn't need to gamble anymore. Bionicle will never be on store shelves ever again, outside that minifig that we got this year. But that's probably in small quantities. It was a miracle that my sister was able to find it for me, so there's that. Bionicle G2, it lasted for the 2 years that it was given to prove itself, and it failed. Those of us who do feel nostalgic for G2 at all remember what it was like to build these things, to play with these things, to mock with these parts, and just enjoy the fact that Bionicle was back. Now, the opposite was true for some G1 elitists, but let's not talk about those folks. They're retards. I love Golly Master here. She's probably one of my favorite Bionicle sets of all time. And for that, I give her a hug. Hug the Bonkle. Start a new trend. Hug your favorite Bonkle. If your favorite Bonkle is... that word is so ridiculous. If your favorite Bionicle is Golly, give her a hug. Give her a head pat. I know I already started that one. Show some affection for the franchise and for the characters within the franchise, while you still have access to these sets if you have them in your collection. This is my third copy of Golly Master. The second copy I turned into a mock revamp. The first copy still on the shelf. There's just something about Bionicle G2, especially that first wave, that had a bit of charm to it. Partially because of the bright and vibrant colors throughout all the sets, except for Skull Spiders, but whatever. Some of it is also just, the gear function, the fact that we have dual weapon functionality, the collectible masks. I mean, is anybody here in 2026 grateful that we got these at all? There's probably a few of you that aren't, but again, there's probably some of you that are. I know one of y'all is going to comment. Decktunix, I think? Decktunix? I don't know. I can't remember. Shout out, by the way. Yeah. Be grateful that we got these at all. And even after watching this video, if you're still ungrateful, then go fuck yourself. Seriously. This is a theme that needed to be promoted back when it was back when it was a theme. And we did our best. We did our best. But it wasn't going to be good enough. Anything we did was never going to be good enough. At least by LEGO standards. Because their standards are too high. And that's the truth. Fuck you, LEGO. Fuck you and your corporate bullshit. Fuck your legal team. And most of all, you suck. You suck for canceling Bionicle twice. I don't think you even gave Bionicle G2 enough of a chance to really rake in some cash for you. You have to give it time. Over time, if we promoted the theme strong enough ourselves, just through YouTube videos, we could have, along with better promotion from LEGO, together we could have united and, you know, brought Bionicle to the next generation. It could have been amazing. Didn't happen that way. Because of that, these sets went into the garbage can for several people. The Journey to One is still on Netflix, apparently. I don't know why. And at the end of the day, G2, whether you like it or not, it was still another step in the direction of where CCBS would have been heading. It was a step in the right direction for, you know, buildable action figures. I know some people don't like to admit that, but they're wrong, because they're idiots, you know? Because let's face it, the ones were Bionicle G2 and its gear functions and whatnot, maybe we wouldn't have gotten anything of the gear functions with the Star Wars CCBS sets starting in 2016. Think about that. I like to think that LEGO was gatekeeping the Mask of Ultimate Power and Mask Maker Makuta and the Journey to One Makuta. I feel like they were gatekeeping those three sets from us, those three items from us, when in reality they could have just put all those together, released them as a special limited edition set in Toys R Us, for example, at the end of 2016 for $50 at most. They didn't do that because nobody suggested it to them. Nostalgia, it can go in many different ways. It can go pretty far, too. With G2, it'll never go far enough. With G1, some people took it a little too far, but hey, you know. What can you do? What can you do? So, that is basically it for this video. Long ass fucking video. I will have an episode of Back to Basics tonight, hopefully. Maybe I'll just push it off for a while. I don't know. This is only the 2nd of August, so. Bionicle. Golly is my favorite. She will always be my favorite. Now, I don't want to start another trend, but if you really want to show affection to your favorite female Bionicle, give her a kiss on the head. Okay, don't do that. I think that's taking it a little too far. But you can do that. It was on sale. Bite me. Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper. What's your favorite soda? Let me know in the comment section below. So let me know in the comment section below, how nostalgic are you for G2 right now, even after that Reddit post that showed us an image that LEGO shared of Umarak the Hunter with Uxar, I guess, on his back, and also Tahu Uniter and Onua Uniter. I made a separate video on that, but let me know what you think about all of this down in the comment section below. Are you nostalgic for G2 right now? Or would you rather reserve your nostalgic feelings for a toy line that is now dead? And, you know, just keep it to yourself. I can understand that, but share your feelings. Share your feelings. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And well, I might have started it, but the head patting the Bionicle thing, keep doing that if you're doing it already. And don't forget to, you know, hug your favorite Bionicle. And that's it for this video. Stay tuned for more videos. I am TheZOMBIEJ. I'll see you folks later. Have a good fucking day, and peace.